Alex, what's going on? Netherverse, LSG, what's up? We're about to go live here. Oh, I bet. Seems like there's a lot of questions going on. And we are going live. Bam Bam, guys, welcome. Decided to do a special stream today, especially in light of some news, especially when it comes to the whole DRAM side. But go ahead, feel free to shoot any questions that you have about any PC hardware, PC builds. And also, if you're unfamiliar with who I am, I'm Chris Mizo. And yes, we got some new merch in the shops. Definitely check it out if you're interested in Project Wood and Project Weave. What's up, Steve? What's up, Epic? Let me guess, Crucial decided... No, so far that's not the case. But what has happened is more of the ETA date that we have with the whole DRAM situation. There's a little bit more light in the situation. And I can tell you exactly a good estimate of how everything is going to look onward from now. Awesome, Alex. You got your 3600X. Yeah, so feel free to send your PC build that you like, Netherverse. If you guys are unfamiliar, we do have a Discord channel. You could also feel free to ask on there as well if you don't want to bring it into the chat. Can perfectly understand, especially if you have something that you don't want to share publicly. So again, we have some, if you have any issues when it comes to your PC builds, feel free to contact our Discord, and I'll throw in the command, or anybody can really throw in the command in the chat, which is exclamation point Discord, and from there you can certainly have something to say then. Okay, so to get to the point, and to, I gotta say, the whole situation with SK Hynix here, it seems that they brought some light. We got a little bit more of some honesty that's really going on with the situation. And they do have an issue for sure when it comes to their whole fabs, with their whole chip process, with their foundries. So it seems that they are obviously unable to produce enough DRAM when it comes down to the whole memory shortage. Unfortunately, this issue will still continue on going into 2026. And it seems that it's a bit more clear cut that more than likely the production will end up going into 2027, hopefully into late 2026. And that's due to the demand of all the fabs, especially from AI and also the consumer demand. So SK is trying to relieve some of the situation. Unfortunately, Crucial has gone ahead and shut their doors for 2026 upcoming, that they are still producing memory currently until up to the end of 2025. So I get it, Pew Pew. I have 2 Intel PCs and 2 AMD PCs. Awesome. So Netherverse has a RTX 5070 with a Ryzen 7 3700X, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, with a 1000 watt PSU ASRock Steel Legend B450M motherboard for actual Meshify C. So I give, and what is the, what's your graphics card? I think that's the one important detail that you left out. I'm assuming you're using it for gaming. I get you. Everybody certainly hates AI, especially for the uses now. It certainly should be limited when it comes to AI use. Originally, what they were doing was having tokens or credits in order to use AI, but as you know, if you pay certain monthly fees, for example, if you go to OpenAI or Perplexity or any AI platform, you do have pretty much free range, as long as if you have a paid membership in order for you to be able to use it. So isn't Deepcool not allowed to send products to the US? No, it can possibly be the case, but I haven't seen that issue. Maybe as of late, but so far I haven't seen no problems with it. I mean, you still have Sapphire that's still delivering products, and you still also have Power Color that's also having products here as well. So if there is an issue with Deepcool currently, more than likely it's going to end up getting resolved. So graphics cards RTX 5070. So if you have oh, okay, there I go. Sorry about that. I just missed it. Of course, that's the first thing you put. But if I give a rating to your build as of now, I would give it a I give it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 for your build. So I got free year of Pro Perplexity just for being in school. Thank you. Oh, awesome. So I got so that's awesome that you're don't do him like that. Do oh why? It's just honesty. It is a 6 out of 10 though, to be honest. Because obviously, I don't want you to run into the point of running into issues. Of course, software developers are going to run into big issues. I still got more news to share with you guys too. Just more on top of that. In light of smartphones, laptops, there's quite a bit that came in. So how much time do you think that we have until GPU prices skyrocket? I would say until 2026, like early. Maybe like right after CES, you're going to see a lot of it. You're going to see a lot of activity then, especially when it comes to GPU announcements. That's what we're expecting at least. Not out of NVIDIA, hoping out of AMD. It's nothing going to be super major crazy, but we're supposed to hear things about the whole new 9000G, which is going to be their processor that has the integrated video. And there is also going to be, hopefully, at least a new high-end AMD card or something that can compete on a higher scale, something that goes up to 24 gigabytes. AMD did release a new workstation GPU, if you guys haven't checked that out. It's the R9700, where it's actually fanless. It's dead quiet for anybody that wants to use a GPU for workstation use. So definitely check that out. What I meant about going back to the whole situation, it's better than no, that's certainly true. So Chill says, planning to get, that's perfect timing. I feel like that's probably right around the area where you'll start to see the increases. If you follow the patterns with what's going on with the whole RAM situation, that it always ends up increasing once you hit into a new month. Now, it's going to hold stagnant for the whole month of December. So for anybody that is looking to purchase any RAM or PC hardware, it is a good time to certainly go and get some. Of course, motherboards, I feel like, are the only thing that's going to end up stagnant or even decline in pricing, because they're going to have trouble selling it, especially when it comes to PC build kits. Now, when it comes to the whole, excuse me, guys, gotta take a sip. Had to refresh my mouth. So, speaking of which, just going back to DRAM real quick. When it comes to smartphones, when it comes to laptops, when it comes to any type of portable accessory, or even a vehicle or anything that you would use desktop wise, it seems that more than likely they're going to end up decreasing when it comes to memory. So they're actually going to go back, instead of the 16 gigabyte standard, you're going to see the 8 gigabyte standard go back to laptops. You're also going to see a standard change when it comes to the smartphones, which instead of the standard, if you have a 12 gigabyte smartphone, be grateful that you have it, because apparently they are going to end up rolling it back down to about 4 gigabytes as the minimum standard when it comes to a smartphone. Now, that's not going to include all the premium smartphones that are also out there. They'll probably push it up to 8 or hopefully even up to 10, but you're not going to see a large increase from 2025 smartphones versus 2026, because that's how short the whole DRAM situation is. So, Pew Pew Stick says, so Windows 10 officially ended up supporting completely, and now I have moved all my games over to Windows 11. It's, you know, it's funny. I've actually contemplated, and many of you probably have thought the same thing, is just abandon Windows 11, just go back to Windows 10, or even swap over to Bakelite. Bakelite's actually really awesome. If anybody has never used it, it's a great piece of OS. But the only thing is, what I would recommend to do if you are thinking of going to OS such as Linux, make sure to experiment it with it first. You could try something like VirtualBox to try it out to get a good concept of how it is before you actually completely switch over, because there is still some manual typing, so to say. You have to type in the terminal for certain commands, or even be able to tweak it. If you are interested in doing something like that, Linux might be something that you're looking for. Again, Bakelite's more of the most user-friendly type of gaming OS for anybody out there who wants to get off of Windows 11. And just like what Steven says, he uses Bakelite Linux. It's really hard to deal with Windows, especially that they kind of force Microsoft on you. And this is to inform everybody out there that does have LG TVs. If you do have a WebOS TV, a LG TV, apparently they're forcing Copilot, believe it or not. They're forcing Copilot on LG TVs. And it kind of dawned on me because it makes a lot of sense because there was a meeting that I actually had to go to last week when it came with one of the companies that's attending CES. They mentioned a product that they're going to have there. And they mentioned that it's going to be for LG. So I didn't really think too much of it. But now that I'm hearing things like this, now it's making sense. It sounds like Microsoft could possibly be making a move to LG and expanding more of their Xbox Game Pass and everything to LG's WebOS. So that's something that has also come up into my conclusion, by the way. So thoughts on Arctic PC that goes under the desk. No fans need it. Not bad if you don't have a lot of hair. Waffle Skater. Anyone notice you can buy the 5080 Founders Edition on Nvidia's website? Oh, really? Oh, man. If that's the case, I might take a look at that. I feel kind of bad that I actually didn't get the RTX 5090 like a couple months ago when I got the email. I wonder if it's still accessible. I'm definitely going to take a look at it. I'm glad that, and a Waffle Skater, if you join our Discord, let me know. Please let me know. You can join the roundtable on there since you're a wonderful subscriber. You're definitely part of us in the roundtable. So get SSDs, peeps, while you still can. So I got a kit of DDR4, $180, DDR5, $300 with free MSI 8 IO, and the SSD 1TB for $107. Not bad in 2 years. I like the way you think, Snoozy. It's more of sitting on gold. It's like sitting on an investment. So if anybody does have RAM sitting in the drawer, regardless if it's DDR4, the only one that's probably not going to hold super value is going to be DDR3, obviously, because that's tech that nobody's still using. But DDR4 is even going up in value because of how crazy this whole RAM situation is. So Viali says, hey, Chris, glad I did I am glad you did too. I'm glad you were able to complete it and your build is awesome. I love your build. Windows 11 does suck. I do agree with you guys. I really hate it. I tried to like it. I gave it, what is it? It's been 3 or 4 years since Windows 11's release and it's just been complete ass. So I have AM4 parts enough for 2 more PCs. There you go. Now you're going to have people wanting to come in and build PCs. You have, just like how I want to go to Micro Center within this month or within the next month and just start hoarding PC parts at this point. Now it's for anybody that is looking to get a PC build and say you don't have enough, say you have only $200 in the bank. Don't really worry just quite yet. In fact, what I highly recommend for anybody to do out there that does want to build a PC, you do have the option of purchasing the PC hardware one at a time. That's how most people start off when building a PC. Because when it comes to building a PC, we all know it's super expensive. It's quite the cost, and it's not easy to buy everything once. So I definitely highly recommend everybody out there. So it says I added core, ordered one earlier. I hope it ships too. I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you do end up getting that part. So for anybody that is, what's up, Egyptian? Hopefully you guys like the new merch. Make sure to check out the store. If you guys haven't checked out the store, I do have a YouTube store. It's on there. And also you can check it out on the webpage, which is going to be on chrismizo.com. Just click the guy with the shirt. He's wearing the merch. We do have Project Weave and Project Wood shirts that are out. And we have hats. We got new mugs. Ensure your RAM. That's definitely a good idea. I do like Egyptian's idea, though. I'm definitely going to work on that. I love your idea, by the way. So the tasteful thickness. Windows does have some horrific issues outside of being spyware. File Explorer is ancient. No batch editing. Yes, it is. It is quite terrible. It's disgusting how bad Windows 11 is. In fact, Windows 11 is so bad to the point that the person who actually designed Windows 11 actually never touched a Microsoft PC. They never touched any type of Microsoft Windows PC ever. And I think they had to touch a little bit of something because we all had Microsoft Windows going to school, especially when you had a computer to go on. But anyway, maybe it's a bit of a over exaggeration, but they never touched it apparently or allegedly. And with this new Windows 11 design uh, was created completely new and completely fresh from them. So they took some of the concepts from Windows 10. They decided to remix it all up, make it more like a feel like Mac OS. But again, if it's just god awful, it's just terrible. There is a script in GitHub that might help remove the Windows 11 BS AI stuff. Yeah, that's a good thing that you called it out. There's actually quite a few. I highly recommend GitHub for anybody that is just getting into PCs. GitHub is great for when it comes to tools, especially if you're looking to remove the extra bloat that Windows 11 does certainly pack, or even Windows 10 or any type of Microsoft OS that you're on. They do have programs on there where you're able to remove scripts, so to say, to remove all the extra bloat like OneDrive or Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Paint, the stuff that you don't really use. It can completely remove it to where you will never see that again. How annoying is it to see something like OneCloud, as we all don't want to be able to go save our documents, our photos, our videos all on the OneCloud. It's just a terrible premise that Microsoft came up with. Also, not recommending you just buy stuff on credit because that's how debt builds up. But people could also apply for Micro Center's credit card and take advantage of the special financing to buy stuff. Now, I agree that's actually not a bad idea. In fact, they do have some great offers out there for anybody that is looking for Micro Center deals. Whether if it's through Micro Center's card or Affirm, they use either one. You're able to get 0% for I think it's for up to 12 months. Don't quote me on that. It's either 6 or 12 months. It's one of them. But it's a great way to start off, just in case if you haven't started working on building your PC. So Pew Stick says, I might just sell all my parts and just keep enough for one build for myself and try a bunch of Linux distros. Tinkering with the OS is trouble, can lead to instability at certain ways. It just depends on what you do with the OS. And again, I get where you're coming from, Tasteful Thickness, especially for the fact that you're having AI practically build these codes now, Microsoft. You're having 30% of your code for your OS written. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these scripts can end up breaking it in the future. It might not break it now, but I wouldn't suggest doing full updates when it comes to Windows 11, especially when it comes to Microsoft and the debloat scripts that they certainly do have on GitHub, because what can happen is with the new update, it could be looking for a certain type of file. It might not be there. It might cause some weird event issues, like some weird crashing on certain programs, or even some random restarts. So just be really mindful of what you remove, and just make sure to remove carefully. Just don't remove every single piece of Microsoft named product or named file that's out there. So plus 5% off with the card. That's a great point. I love that, Waffle Skater. That's definitely helpful for anybody out there who is thinking of building a PC. So Grimy says, I bought a pre-built i7 14700F, 32 gigabytes, 5060, 1 terabyte SSD for under $1,000. No, that's actually a decent move. It's considering the fact of how expensive RAM is going for currently. I'm assuming your RAM is decent. Just assuming that your RAM is decent, no, it's not a terrible move, but I would highly recommend upgrading the GPU if you can. You're going to end up regretting it if you don't, to be honest on that part. So I think it all depends on the purchase amount. The more you spend, the longer you can get it, but don't quote me on that. So Kevin Wynn says, I feel like my 9700X loads stuff very slow, and my PC just feels slower in general. So when did this start happening? When did you start running into issues? Is it because of Windows 11? In fact, Windows 11 was supposed to fix a lot of the issues with AMD's chipset, and also when it comes to AMD's GPUs. So if anybody has a problem with the RX 9060s, 9070s, or maybe you have a 7600 XT, or any of those AMD GPUs out there, it's supposed to resolve some of those graphical issues. But AMD also did send out a new code out there and also a new update for you guys. They have Redstone currently in beta. It's not the best currently, and they're obviously still working out all the different kinks of it. I'm expecting a lot more to be revealed, especially in January of 2026 during the whole CES show. So it's really common after Windows 11 updates, something pops up. It's LinkedIn is just. I don't know why they package in LinkedIn when it comes to the Microsoft. So they really want you. It's just terrible. They really need to open up the options when it comes to the OS side. I just don't get why Microsoft doesn't just create a straight gaming OS, especially for anybody out there that just focuses on gaming on their PC, because it's just going to be, everything else is going to be completely useless on that side. So is 850 enough to get a 13700K and a 5080? No. Or should I get? Unfortunately, not. Unless the best thing you can probably get, or should I get? Oh, yeah, I would say get 1,000 watt for sure. 850 watts is like the bare minimum. And the reason why I say it's the bare minimum is because when you really think about it, you're going to end up doing a bit more upgrades to it. And when you do, you're going to be grateful for that cushion that you do have. 850 is like the minimum that they do recommend. So Grimy says, yeah, I was planning on upgrading GPUs. So if you plan to upgrade your GPU, depending if you are a NVIDIA guy, I'm assuming if you're using it for gaming, I would highly recommend any of the RX 9070 XT cards. You could actually get them really cheap. In fact, you could get a RX 9070 XT by AceRock for about 580 from Iker Center if it's near you. If it's not, you could get it on Amazon for a decent deal. I think it'll be like probably a little bit over 600, but it's still one of the best gaming cards out there, especially when it comes to price and performance. But when it comes to NVIDIA, if you're more of an NVIDIA user, then I would highly recommend something like if you're looking for the CUDA cores and you need them for something like production usage, then I would recommend something like the NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti or higher, if that's the case. So Waffle Skater says, with the price of RAM, getting 32 gigabytes in the build under 1,000. Yes, that's the thing. The RAM itself is really worth the money. And so I built it around 2nd of this month, so it's pretty new. I didn't have anything to compare it to, and I started stuttering in Fortnite. Oh, really? So I got 128 gigabytes DDR5, 6,000 megahertz. Should I sell it now? You know what the crazy part is, Ukrainian guy? Right now might be just the starting point. It's probably going to get, it's not, I shouldn't say probably, it's going to get worse. And it's probably going to go up in value. It's honestly, you're holding on something that's worth much more than gold, apparently. So upgrading my power supply just in case. I want to get a 5080, so I went to 1,000 watts gold rated. Nothing wrong with that. 1,000 watts is perfect for anybody out there that is trying to hook up, say, a 5080 GPU, and you're hooking up to any real combination besides the whole Threadripper. Threadripper guys are definitely going to need a bit more power if that's the case, for sure. So difference between the whole CUDA and the Tensor cores. So CUDA, the whole difference is the way it works when it comes to CUDA is that it's going to end up optimized a lot. It's mostly optimizations more than anything when it comes to CUDA. Optimizations work through such as programs such as Adobe, DaVinci, and they work more with NVIDIA GPUs because of the CUDA cores. It makes it a bit more easier on that side. That's the simplest way I can explain it for you. But when it comes to the whole Tensor side, it's more or so, it's a different usage. They don't go by, they go by ray tracing cores. So it's a little bit different the way they do their count. Different types of technology. It's just that the way NVIDIA does it and the way they define it is they're able to use it like almost like a multiplier instead of like how AMD uses it. So that's the easier way I can explain it. So Waffle Skater says, man, I swear the 5070 where the 9070 XT is so cheap at Micro Center, but all their pre-built PCs with the 9070 XT in it are priced almost equally to 5080 builds. It makes no sense. Yeah, it really is. It's pretty insane how cheap you could get a lot of these pre-builds. In fact, you could even get some pre-builds that are pretty cheap, like when it comes to really any of them. Like you want to catch them because a lot of the pre-built pricing, most of it's going to end up going up like more into the January timeline. You have CyberPower PC who's already announced it, and you already have some manufacturers that are announcing it kind of slow on their end, but they are going to bring up the pricing. Obviously, Nvidia doesn't have to say anything about raising up the pricing because they're shipping again without they're shipping with their just their graphical unit, just their GPU, without the and their PCB without the VRAM. So in my country, the 9070 XT around 900. That's rough. $900 for a 9070 XT is pretty expensive. So if anybody's just coming in and you're all curious about this whole RAM situation, to bring a new light in the whole situation for anybody out there, when it comes to SK Hynix, they had brought up the issue and was interviewed by WCCF Tech, and they were actually brought up and asked about this whole situation when it comes to the DRAM situation. So the problem is they don't have the fabs to be able to produce fast enough. The DRAM is not able to keep up demand, whether consumer or AI use. So instead, that they're going to focus a lot more on the HBM side. That's no secret. But they did say that it's a bit premature to actually announce a true date for when this whole RAM issue is going to end. So a lot of these manufacturers that are saying, oh, maybe it's not going to be 2028, they're actually not 100% sure in that. They're a bit more solid on the fact that it's going to be within 2027. So it's going to be a little less of a wait, but hopefully it's going to end up a lot quicker because SK Hynix is also working on some new foundries to where they're able to produce the RAM that is needed or produce the HBMs that are needed when it comes to this whole issue that we're having. Samsung is obviously focused on creating their HBMs and they're also their DRAM as well. Now, there is a big rumor that's spreading all over the internet. I'm sure you guys have heard it or have seen it at least, is that Samsung is going to end up stop making or stop producing any 2.5-inch SATA SSDs. And the same thing with when it comes to their NAND NVMEs, M.2s. But again, that's a rumor, guys. So don't take that too serious. That's just not really any solid, conclusive evidence of that. So don't take that to the heart, anybody. That's a rumor. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up resolving within the next day or so. But what is solid and factual information is that SK Hynix has said that there is a problem when it comes to the production line, when it comes to DRAM and then the HBMs. They're just unable to keep up with the demand, and they are certainly working on it. Obviously, Micron has shut their doors in light of the whole, well, not really in light, I should say in dark, as they're more focused on creating more HBMs for the whole AI side. Currently, they're on HBM3E, and they're working on HBM4. And once HBM4 is the newer technology, the better technology that can keep up with the AI demand, that's what they want to release. Now, they've been experimenting with a couple other things, which is kind of pointless, which is the whole 3D NAND when it comes to their chipset. But the problem with that is it's not going to be mass produced. So what's the point of it? Why do something like that? So yeah, so once what is out there gets sold, I expect prices to jump up. I've seen a few PCs on Micro Center's website jump up from 100 to 200 in the last few days, but only expect them to jump higher. Absolutely. 22 watching, 5 like. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. And it seems that my stream bot does not like to behave well. It's funny because I give it these commands and it doesn't want to quite work on these triggers here. Let's see, test trigger. All right, so let me try that. It's funny. There we go. That's one, and the other one is here. So that's the Discord for anybody that is welcome to join in. You can join in and feel free to show off your PC build, ask any questions. If you're looking for any PC parts, people do end up selling PC parts on there as well, if that is what you're looking for. So let's take a look at Micro Center. Let's see what's going on with them and see what type of deals that we can certainly find online. So let's go here. Right on Micro Center's website. There we go. So here we go. Let's see what they have. So as you know, if you go onto Micro Center's website, fortunately they don't have any more of those kits where they're selling any more of those bundles. So Gabriel says, is the 5800X 3D enough? Yes, certainly enough for that. Without RAM, society will collapse. I like how you think, Thimble Muncher. Thank you for the follow. Certainly appreciate it. And Molex. So let's take a look here. As you know, they don't have any more of these kits when it comes to Micro Center. They only had the processor and the motherboard, unfortunately. If you guys are customers of Micro Center, as you guys know, they usually have kind of like a bare bones kit where they have the motherboard, they have the RAM, and they also give you the processor. Unfortunately, that is no more. So let's take a look here. There goes a MetaQuest right there. That's one of the things I was honestly thinking of going for. That's actually a pretty awesome device. But anyway, that's just me rambling there. So they got a 9070 XT. See, once you click into it, they barely have anything. And there goes the pricing. It's already going up as it is. See, originally they had this deal for this G-Skill Flare X5 that you see right here. Originally, that was actually only $330. But now it pushed up to $389.99 for this set, which is pretty expensive for it. Should be okay, but at 1440p, bottleneck at 1080p. There, I have a pile of Micro Center USB sticks. They practically, yeah, they give them out like freebies. If anyone hasn't joined the whole Micro Center Insider thing, you get 128 gigabytes of a thumb drive. So if anybody is looking for that, a flash USB drive, if you want to flash Bazzite on any of your systems, there you go. There's a free USB thumb drive right there. So Corsair's Vengeance RGB 32 gigabytes. Again, this was originally a lot cheaper than that. This was originally around like $370. This went up to $409.99 already. So within about a week's time already. Actually, ever since Saturday, it's been going up. So, what's up, Chef Jordan? So you're new to the gaming PC market. Go ahead, feel free to ask your question. So I might have to get a 5800 X3D instead of upgrading right now because of the RAM, of course. I get what you're saying. It's definitely a bit ridiculous right now. The annoying thing is that about them removing RAM from the bundles was what took a while before even the price even dropped, even though you weren't even getting RAM anymore. I'm glad it's cheaper now. I agree. It's they're trying to make it look cheaper. I can say that for sure. Here goes a perfect example. This should not be nowhere near this price. For example, the 990 Pro, it's a PCI Express 4 SSD. It's $209.99. That you can get PCI Express 5. Technically, you should be able to get 9100 for that price. That is way overpriced. That's actually went up quite a bit. Originally, you could get 2 terabytes of Samsung's NVMe. If anybody attended the Black Friday deals, I did bring them up a while ago, and you saw that it actually was a bit down in price. It wasn't a incredible price, but it was still a pretty good price. You could originally get it for about $160 for 2 terabytes of NVMe. Now it's $210. So that just tells you it's slowly creeping up on the whole SSD side. It's not that, don't think it's unaffected. I feel that most people don't really realize that the price is going up until it goes up dramatically. This is quite the increase. That's expensive. Here goes a single module. A single RAM module of 16 gigabytes here is worth $195. So M. Molik says, do you think the Patriot Signature DDR5 2 lanes, 16 gigabytes, 5600 megahertz is good RAM? Yeah, I mean it's decent RAM. I've been looking around for a budget option. I found it for 320. It's still pretty expensive. If that's the best you certainly could find, then I would say you know what? We'll shop for you too. We're gonna go ahead and look. We're gonna go on Newegg and just double check just to make sure that you are getting the best deal here. How's that sound? Because I feel that's for 5600 megahertz for 320. That sounds a bit high. It kind of makes sense because again, they pushed up the price already when it comes to the whole X5 series. Micro Center is really good when it comes to pricing. They're nothing like when it comes to any other competitors, just to let you guys know. Even if we go on Newegg, I bet Newegg's going to be a bit more expensive, or even Amazon. So I got a 5800 XT. It comes with the Wrath Prism cooler, 183 bucks. We'll go with that over to 5800 X3D. I mean, it's still going to work. It's going to work great regardless. And when it comes to your GPU, especially if you're going to be gaming with it anyway, most of your bottlenecks going to come from your GPU. So I bought two separate 2TB and 980 Pros for $90. There you go. That's that's insane. That's a big difference right there. The tasteful thickness says all my NVMe's and SATA drives are Samsung. New software is great. I heard that they came out with the whole new Samsung Magician. I still haven't checked it out though. I heard it's quite increased, much better. So all my NVMe's and SATA drives are Samsung. All right, so guys, I'm going to take you on Newegg real quick. Let's go take a trip over there and check it out. So on Newegg, Deal Center, Deal December. That's got to be a joke, right? Deal December, especially for RAM. All right, let's click this. Let's see what Deal December is about. So, oh man, that they had me there. 4 terabytes. Here we go. Here's a deal right here. The funny thing is they got it up for a 30% doorbuster deal, right? It says 4 terabytes of Western Digital SN8100 PCI Express. Okay, it says $350. That's decent, right? But why is the price $480? So let's go ahead and click it right here. No. They royally effed up this. they royally effed up that. $480, guys. Because again, you guys see it, $350. That's what it should be. But oh man, somebody's getting fired. So, what's the best GPU paired for Ryzen 7 3700X? Go with a 9070 XT. Especially for anyone that's on a budget, just go ahead and go for it. I'm telling you, you'll be extremely happy with that card. How much is the Ryzen 7 7800 X3D? Let's take a look. It should be about 200 bucks. That's the last I remember. No, I might be thinking of the 7600, but we're gonna double check here. Yeah, so it's 358. At that point, you might as well go 9800 X3D. Because I remember 9800 X3D, you can actually pick it up for a deal for, you can actually pick it up for a decent deal. 9800 X3D should be about under 400 bucks. So a 4 terabyte M.2 should never cost more than 2 terabytes M.2 combined. Just saying, at that point, I'm getting 2 separate drives. Yeah, exactly. It should nowhere be costing that much. Let's go check out their doorbuster deals again. All right, I'm trying to find the RAM here. Let's see. Let's find the RAM. And it seems they're not going to list it on here. They're definitely not going to list it. We're just going to manually look for it. We're going to go to the, not peripherals. We're going to go back here, components and storage. And then we're going to go for memory. And the problem with the AMD graphics, there are second-class citizens. Oh, really? So they actually pushed up the price. It should be about $400. I seen it go low. It should have dropped down. I would never buy one for that reason. For 36, that's decent. That's actually decent. 6,000 megahertz CL36. I might get that. That's actually a decent deal, Gabriel. So if you're thinking of getting that RAM, that's certainly one to go for. In fact, share it because I know Amolix is looking for RAM. That would actually fit you very well for your Intel build. In fact, So if anybody needs RAM when it comes to their PC and you're struggling between XMP and Expo, they both work. So they both work when it comes to an AMD build. You can have XMP profile on AMD. You can also have Expo profiles on AMD. Now with Intel, you can only have XMP profiles. So AMD GPUs are fine. Software is very good too. Yes, absolutely. Viali can certainly vouch for it, for sure. I prefer the 5070 Ti, better resale value. Gonna keep it. Generally, support is still a bit better. See, I would highly... I wouldn't want... Amolix. I'm sure they got plenty of those... they got plenty of those 6,000 megahertz laying around, I bet. They gotta have it. I didn't say that they aren't fine, but I do see the software accepting acceleration when it comes to NVIDIA cards. Okay, so here we go. Now, here is one of the new deals, 32 gigabytes. Again, pretty similar to from what we saw. Oh, that's not bad. It comes with a free Corsair AIO. So that's actually a decent deal. Let's see what kind of AIO, though. I'm kind of curious. It comes with the iQ Link H115. So this is actually a decent deal, guys. This one's not bad. So you guys can certainly get something like this. Now, again, I want to put this on something like a 9950X because it's going to heat up quite crazy. This would actually go good something on like a 7600X 3D. Any of the 3D chipsets, because they're lower wattage and you don't need as much cooling, you can certainly start off with something like this. This is actually not too bad because it comes with the AIO. So it comes $409 with this, and technically that AIO is, let's find out the pricing. Let's double check the pricing. It's $110. So you're getting $110 off technically off of the RAM. So you're technically paying about $290 for this Corsair. I definitely could share this with you, chat. Let me share it with you guys on the chat because I know you guys are certainly looking for cheaper RAM. Let me just copy it and hopefully it goes through the link. So here's one I recommend, but if you're strictly and solely looking for RAM, we're still going to continue to look. Oops, hit enter. So I found it on Best Buy on Puerto Rico. I don't know the price in Best Buy in US. Yeah, we'll double check it. Resale value doesn't matter to me. I don't like it. I hear you. Some people, did anybody out there, I'm going to put up a poll for you guys real quick. I will post up the link. I apologize for anybody that is waiting for the link, but I do want to throw out this poll out there real quick for you guys. Just out of curiosity, I'm curious if any of you guys had went through this just quite yet. Have you guys, how should I state it? It's better if I say it like this. Has anyone listened to the podcast with Jensen Huang and Joe Rogan? How about that? So I'm going to put up the poll. It's coming up, guys. So here it is. Feel free to make the vote. You just simply put the number. I'm just curious for anyone that has listened to the podcast, and let me know what you guys think of the podcast because I am curious about what your thoughts of if it changed your thoughts or of Jensen Huang. Like, what do you think of him as a person? So far we got nobody that has listened to it. Has anybody listened to the podcast? Just put 1 or 2. And you can feel free to state your reason why. Maybe you have no interest in it. I can understand that. Maybe maybe you just don't care about what he thinks. Let's see. I am working on the link, guys, and hopefully it'll let me send it like this. So I'm going to try to send it as a short file. And here we go. I'm going to use a shortener because I know I don't want YouTube to flag it. Shorten your URL. There we go. Tiny. I was about to pull trigger on the 2000 PC build, but I decided to wait. 50 series is underwhelming, and I hope this 60 series is a big jump. So far, nobody has listened to it. Wow, I'm pretty surprised. I'm pretty surprised, guys. I apologize for that. You know what it is? I accidentally hit the. I got a new control, so I accidentally hit it. I know. I apologize for that. That's the link for it. That's the link for the RAM, by the way, for anyone that is looking for it. Let's continue to look together real quick, and I'll keep that poll up. So far, there we go. So far, thank you guys for letting me know that. Do you think the Crucial Pro 6000 CL 380 is worth the $60 over the Patriot Signature? I would say it's over that. It's worth the $60 over. I would say because you're getting a bit more speed out of it, it would be worth it in that sense. Good to see you, Viali. Oh, have a great night. I'm glad you joined in. Thank you for joining, by the way. I went into IT and immediately I went to troubleshoot. My own system went when sound went out. Oh, really? That's funny. Oh, that's that happens to everybody. I think like as soon as that happens, I gotta create a new hotkey for that. But thank you for. So Alice says we got to the point and only gave us frame gem for FPS mostly. So I would say it sort of is. Why aren't they advertising DDR4? That's how bad it is. They're starting to push more DDR4 guys. So here goes Patriot Viper. This is probably what you saw. Why would tell me how that makes sense, guys? Patriot Viper Venom 32 gigabytes, right? That's perfectly normal. But when it comes to the latency CL30, that's actually great. That is awesome. This is a great deal, in fact. Free Samsung micro SD Express C card for what? Like, why would anybody that has a Switch 2 need RAM? Tell me that doesn't. This is an even better deal. Let me click this. That's actually a really good deal for anybody. I'm gonna send this over to you guys. Oh, did it? Oh, hopefully, at least on Twitch it lets you. Okay. At least on Twitch it lets you send it. So I'm gonna send that link for anyone that is interested in that. I will take a look at that. Let me refresh this. And perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at that. So if anyone's looking for a RAM kit, that's another one. I'm still glad I paid $48 and $96 over. Honestly, it's anybody that obtained RAM should certainly be happy right now. Wow, that's insane. Okay, so just to switch back over to the event viewer here. Let's see. Oh, you know what it is? Hey, this thing is now the hotkey, the swap won't work. Oh well. So I'll just do it manually there. Okay, so this is it. DDR5 RAM, 32 gigabytes, 5600 CL. It's CL40. That might not be it. You're talking CL46, really? Is that it? The rumor is that the B650 motherboards will not be discontinued. Yeah, that's currently a rumor right now. So, fan guys, just to let you guys know, I will be back. I'm just gonna go eat some dinner. I'm just to let you guys know, I will certainly be back. So I do apologize for this intermission, guys. But I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Man, how'd you know? That's I do eat soup. You are good. That actually, You are really good. Okay, so I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to more than likely I won't hold the broadcast for you guys. Instead, I'll just rebroadcast it for everyone out there, let you know exactly when I will go back up live. All right, so make sure you guys eat, get your stomachs full, because we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go more into it. Oh, eh, I really gotta watch all the pies I eat right now. But thank you guys for joining in. We will talk very soon.